far. I can testify that you are God, and there's nobody else like you.
Hey, Sammy. This is a test. Can you guys hear the music? Can you guys hear the music? Is it loud? Hey, Busola, how are you? Ronki. Turayo, after all your back and forth, is it your sleep time? Hey, Sammy. Oh, wow. Sammy, you are making me feel loved right now. So, we are waiting. Hey, Grace. Ah, good. Soraya, good. I was afraid it was your bedtime or something. We got Nigeria in the house. My nieces are in the house. Nice. So we're just gonna wait for our guest today. I guess let me see. Sammy, you know Margaret. Tell me when you want to come on. Sammy, tell me when you want to come on and we will make it happen.
Hey there.
Hey, let me get off.
Can you hear me?
How are you?
Whoa. Okay. Let me stop the music. She is here.
Hey, it's hot Atlanta today.
It is?
Yeah,
Well, at least Atlanta is open, right?
it is. It is. As witnessed by the traffic yesterday, it was off the chain. I have, for the past 2 months, enjoyed free, easy travel to my parents' home from my home.
Right.
Today was back to normal
Right.
on traffic, and I was just like, wow.
What is going on? I know. It can sound like that.
Yeah,
But listen, it is so nice to get you here. It is. I have butterflies. It's like, what? So
a long time.
I know. So guys, I don't know how long this is going to take. We're going to try to keep it to an hour.
Yeah.
But if we have to jump back, maybe we'll go another 30 minutes max. We're not trying to keep you on here for a long time. We know that your Saturdays are important, you know.
Right.
And so, hey, another sister just joined. Hey, Stella. So I'm telling you, I am beyond elated to have Margaret here. Listen. So here's the thing. Margaret, I'm gonna have you introduce yourself soon, but we had I'm gonna call it privilege of having Margaret serve in our church in New Jersey. When did you leave? When did you go back?
I left Jersey in 2015. I didn't get back to Atlanta until 2016. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for the short time that she was there, and so I'm not trying to make your head swell, but this is coming from my heart. Okay. This is coming from my heart. The few years that I got to watch you serve, I saw you serve in excellence.
Oh, thank you.
And personally, I saw you I love when people pass through your life and they leave marks, right? They leave marks. They leave
Yeah.
something that you can say, oh, when that lady was there, this is what I remember her for, and
Wow.
it is for my kids, okay, for Nife, for my daughter.
Oh,
I
that's
am glad that
smart.
she, I'm glad that she you left a mark on her, okay.
Mm.
And I think a lot of the youth at that time will say the same thing, because I remember how heartbroken they were when you left.
I was heartbroken to leave, but it was one of those,
But there
you're
was,
like, I've met my,
right,
I've served, I've done what I needed to do. Somebody else can carry the
yeah,
torch.
yeah, yeah. But there was this mark that you left. There was this confidence that you left, like they could do anything that you left.
And then,
They saw a
yes.
young lady serving God, right? That
Mm.
was just something good. So, I am so sorry. My name is Gladys. If this is the first time that you are seeing me or hearing me talk, my name is Gladys. I run a blog called Worship with Gladys. I am also a worship minister. So I sing. Hey, Lifa. I know, woo, the Lapo is in the house. I saw no
Hey,
daddy the other
hey,
time.
ladies,
I
everyone
saw
is singing.
BJ. Hi. And so today, you know what? I was looking at your website.
I'm in the process
So,
of updating it. I'm curious
so
to see what you saw.
Margaret is a pharmacist. And I went to her website. I'd like to know what you're doing. And I loved how you put there co-founder and chief encouragement officer. I've never seen CEO like that, put out like that. Chief encouragement officer. That cracked me up, right?
Yeah.
So I am going to let you give a brief introduction about yourself.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. You've done so much already. I'm here like, oh my gosh. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to join you on your platform and to just kind of share some of the growth that has taken place even since the last time you and I got to see each other face to face. So as Gladys shared, I am a pharmacist by training. However, my claim to fame is that I have never dispensed a pill a day in my life. And we'll talk about that because I believe that
Yeah.
today's topic is all about limits and
Yeah.
breaking the limits off of yourself. So ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to know how to do things differently. And not just differently, but also with the least amount of work possible. Not because I'm a lazy person, but because I understand that there is a mechanism with which this earth was founded on that allows for things to come with ease. And so I've always in my life tried to figure out, how do I get to that place? And that's what's brought me here. I'm happy to be back on social media, my COVID blessing in disguise.
I
And
think that's the same for all of us.
I know, right? So I'm currently living in Atlanta, Georgia, where I was born and raised. I am a fur mommy to two beautiful standard poodle puppies named Belle and Bo.
Mm.
And I am happy to really just be diving into what I believe is my life's purpose, which is to serve as the Harriet Tubman of mental slavery and helping to encourage people on how to emancipate their minds and take.
That's the word. Emancipate your mind. That's the word.
Yeah.
So, this is the second episode in the God Conversation series. And this is a child, if I would call it a child of Worship with Gladys.
Okay.
And so I have to put a disclaimer here. If you cannot wait, if you don't make it till the end, we're gonna put this out on the YouTube channel and on the blog. So you can go back and watch it and comment and share. I'm excited about this one because this was my last blog post and I titled it, "What are you allowing to limit you?" And I kind of thought over my life about how I have had many stops. That were supposed to be pauses, right? Pauses. They were supposed to be pauses. They were supposed to be commas. They were
Yeah.
supposed to be semicolons that I made
Full stop.
Praise Heart Music, how are you? Thank you for joining. That I made stops. It's like you're going on a journey out of state and you don't know where you're going, because sometimes we doubt the GPS,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we don't say, it doesn't come to our mind to ask for help. So we keep driving, or we stop and we turn back. That's kind of how I saw my life. So when I was writing this topic, I wrote it because I suddenly realized you stopped in places. You put a full stop in some things that you were supposed to pause and ask for direction, and you didn't. And so you stopped it. And so I don't like to say I regret some things, but because I feel like they were learning curves. They were part of me learning about how life is a journey.
It is.
There are times you're gonna go straight down to your purpose, but there are times that you're gonna have to ask and say, okay, I need to learn some things here before I continue the journey. But a lot of us, we stop. We just stop. Like it didn't work out, so we just stop. We move on to something else. The irony of that is, what you stopped to move on to something, you might have to come back, because you never learned what you were supposed to learn with this one. So we abandon stuff a lot. It's half-baked. So half-baked. There is nothing. You don't finish anything. When this one, there's a roadblock, you move on to something else. Roadblock, you move on to something else. So those are part of the things that cause us to stagnate. And that's where that line came from. What are you allowing to limit you? So I'm going to.
Okay. All right. So first things first, I want to just encourage you that every pause that you felt like turned into a stop or a full stop was all a part of who you are supposed to be. So I'm going to make a statement. You can let me know how this statement resonates with you. I cannot make a mistake. How does that resonate with you?
I cannot make a mistake. Well, I cannot make a mistake maybe because what I think is a mistake may be, no, not maybe, it's an opportunity for me to learn.
Right. So I'll tie it biblically, right? All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord.
Who love the Lord.
So that is a place of confidence where we can all operate from. A lot of the times what happens is we are constantly looking to the world for validation, for direction, for God, for adjustment, for all of these things that already live within us. The person or the being that created us has already said, all things are working together for your good.
For good.
And when we choose to abandon things or we perceive things as roadblocks or whatever the case may be, a lot of times it is because we're looking to the world outside as opposed to coming back inside and sitting with that word and learning to trust the power that God has given to each and every single one of us to guide our lives. So I love how you started off talking about you're heading down a road and we are looking for signs. And when we don't see those external signs, then we say, oh, I must be going the wrong way. But the signs, just to bring it back to the biblical standpoint, Jesus called the Pharisees out and he was like, y'all are some fools. Y'all always looking for a sign, right? The sign is the after effect. It never precedes what is to be. What is to be comes, and then the signs follow.
Wow.
So it is a matter of us shifting our perspective. And when we begin to embrace the understanding of what I'm looking for starts here inside of me, and then I will know by the fruits that I'm bearing that I am on the right path. Not the opposite way. We go to the grocery store and we pick up all these fruits and we try to put it on our tree.
Yeah.
But you didn't produce it. So that's why now you have to go back to that place, because you haven't borne the fruit that you were supposed to bear from that experience. Wow. That's why you find yourself going back to that place.
Wow.
So I'll
You were
pause
speaking. You are speaking. So the reason, so I want to go to limiting thoughts. Limiting thoughts. What are your limiting thoughts? And for those of you on this live with us now, can you drop what are your limiting thoughts? And I'll give you, I wrote 2 down.
Yeah.
My first one is that we don't think that we have the help that we need. And I'm going to say, we are limited. We see limits in things because we don't think that we need the help that we're going to get the help that we need, or that we have the help that we need. And I'm going to use, and I keep coming back to Worship with Gladys.
Okay.
When I started the blog, in fact, my first concert, I made excuses for so long.
Okay.
Sissy, oh yeah, you are so correct. She said, not feeling good enough.
Yeah.
Those were one of my limiting thoughts. Because I felt like everybody's singing. Everybody's having concerts. What is different about yours? Right? What is different? What you're just going to come and you're going to think. What is different about what's going to be different? And I think until I could answer that, I couldn't move forward. And one of the ways that I think God made me come to my breaking out of that was it was like, you are not called to everyone.
That's it.
Everyone is singing. When you sing, when you minister, how do you feel? Right? Do you feel me? I was having a conversation with God. Do you feel me? What is it that you experience? And when I could answer that, then he said, now, when you sing, it is that experience that you're getting from me that you're sharing with people. You're pulling them into that experience. Simple. After that day, I was done.
You just cut to the heart of it. And so a lot of people have put into the comments, not feeling good enough, lack of skills, not doing enough, wanting to be perfect, not feeling like they're prepared enough to start, feeling like they're indispensable, et cetera, et cetera. Let me tell, what you just said is the crux of our relationship with God. And it is about feeling. Feeling is the secret to the manifestation, realization, and actualization of every desire that your heart has ever birthed.
Please say that again for people in the back.
Feeling is the ultimate peak, like it is the foundation for every manifestation, actualization, and realization of any desire, hope, dream, goal that you have. Because this is what, like how we get to limiting beliefs, how we begin to feel like we're not good enough is because we do, okay, let me just, I gotta give it to the Bible. I love the Bible so much because it's so rich, right? So let's observe Peter. When he was walking on water, Jesus Christ called him out of that boat. And Peter, he didn't think twice. He said, I'm here. I got this. I'm rolling. And it wasn't until the homeboys back in the boat was like, Peter, you walking on water. Peter, you on the water. Oh my God. Right? That's when the feeling of security that Peter had instantly vanished. It is our job as children of God, and just anybody, whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, it is your job to maintain the purity of that feeling, that you get. Because guess what? Everybody else is going to feel what you feel. You got to start with you. You know, I'm a lover of music, okay? So the people like you that sing, rappers, and I'm going to use rappers just because it cuts across the board. We're Nigerian, so we know when people sing your Oriki, it's the same as rapping. When
Yeah.
your Oriki is being sung, they're praising you. It's lifting
Yeah.
you up. Now, imagine how you feel when someone is singing your praises. If you,
Head swelling.
yeah, your head is swelling, right? And it's a feeling that's the feeling that you maintain when you are now stepping towards your goals. It is a must because God said that that's yours. He said it is your inheritance to have this, to live like this, to display this power on earth. So now the limiting belief has to break off. And the reason why it has to break off is because you are you. You are a part of the vine, and we need you. So you got to come with what you got. I'm going to come with what I got. And when we all show up together with what we got, it's a party.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you show up trying to look like me or trying to look like somebody else, it's not a party. Now it's a competition. Yeah. And now we cannot sing beautiful music, right? Because you're judging me, I'm judging you, and we get into this whole thing. So another thing I will say to limiting beliefs is that it does come from a place of judgment. We have passed judgment on somebody else's work. We've judged it to be amazing. We've judged it to be not up to par. We've judged it to be whatever the heck we put the judgment on.
We've judged it.
Yeah, but then I have to remind us, and this is something I've been chewing on this since 2004, okay? Since 2004, I've been trying to understand this statement, and I feel like in the past 3 years, I finally got it. Judge not you. Judge not.
Okay, judge not.
Judge not, lest you be judged. This is where limiting beliefs start. It starts from judgment, because the moment that you can accept that Sister Gladys is walking and living in her purpose and you can clap her up, you have released any judgment about how her work presents. And now you can look at yourself, oh, I see myself in Sister Gladys. I can do that too, but I'm going to do it in my way.
My way. Yep.
No judgment. Yep. You know, when I first got back onto social media in the midst of all of this, one of the things I talked about was spiritual violence. And I know we probably got a lot of Nigerians in the room. So my spiritual violence is not one from Babalawo or, you know, or anything like that.
Right. Hey, Kanim.
Yeah, spiritual violence is judgment. Spiritual violence is projecting your fears onto someone else.
Somebody else, yeah.
Spiritual violence is limiting yourself. We commit spiritual violence against others. We also commit spiritual violence against ourselves. So now you want all of these signs of your glory or the wonderful work that you're doing to be shown, but you're shrouding it. You're literally hiding your light under a bushel every single time you choose to operate from a place of judgment, whether you're judging yourself or judging someone else.
Oh my God. Oh, I gotta take a water break or something because Margaret is going in. Okay, so my second,
because these are all things that I have experienced myself, and when I tell you the freedom and the joy that I have today is like I am truly living what the Bible says, because I have released people. I accept people for who they are, wherever they are, however they choose to show up. Because guess what? As you stated early, this life is a journey, and we're all at stages of it unfolds. Meaning, okay, it's like origami. You fold the paper, and guess what? There's so many different ways that you can fold the paper to get a different or, you know, whatever it is that you want. So who am I to judge where you are in the unfoldment of your life? It is the ultimate disrespect to you for me to come to you and tell you that you're not doing it right. Who am I? It's your world. Your world. Again, if you read the New Testament, you will see how in each book, as the books progress, you'll see how Jesus goes from saying the kingdom of God is nigh or near, to saying that the kingdom of God is here, right? So what I understand from that the kingdom of God is here, is that I'm living in my own kingdom of heaven that I create. But the reality is, for a long time, I was creating hell for myself. And that hell was based, and it was, drenched in judgment and fear and hate and jealousy and greed and all of these things. I'm sitting, my window is here, and I'm looking out my window. I see trees. The way that God created this earth was for abundance. It's our job to flow in line and align ourselves to the abundance that this earth was set up to give us. But you know what? We're so
preoccupied.
Yes, we're
looking at someone else.
That instead of going with the flow, we insist on resisting the flow. So we now start fighting the flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it don't sound right.
Not getting what we expected.
Yeah, it don't sound right. It doesn't look. That doesn't look like God. That's my head. It doesn't look like God. God wouldn't say that to me. Like, what? No.
You have to ask yourself, Gladys, who said that doesn't look like God? Where did that judgment come from?
This is a perfect time for my second limiting factor. Okay. But I gotta welcome some people that just joined. Florentine. Right. I see Chidera. I see Get Fit with E saying preach. We're not trying to preach. We're just bringing God in the simplest, in the simplest form possible. Yes. So I like when you say who how do you know it's not God? Yes. So my second limiting factor is, I said that there is a song by Israel Hilton, and the line says, when God is in it, there is no limit. I flipped it to say the reason why we see limits is because we don't see God in it.
Hey! That's a powerful one. Yes.
Okay. DJ Anibab said that we need a commercial break to digest all of this. Yes. So what's our commercial break going to be? Everybody stretch. Listen, stretch, just stretch. I gotta stretch. I gotta do my Get Fit with E. I'm doing my exercise. Listen, oh God, this is too hot. Okay, listen, we see limits because we don't see God in it.
Look, and when you just said that, you know what my spirit said? How can you not see God when God is all around?
Distraction.
I had to leave the camera.
Noise. You went out of camera. I'm going out of camera too.
God is in everything. You know, like the way that we set up, and you know what? Okay, so let me take a pause, right? For real, because I want everyone that's listening to understand we are all in this together. It is not your fault that your mind has been limited. The way that our society is set up, it is set up to make us believe that we're less than, that we're not worthy, or
that's an autopilot.
Right. It's set up to make us keep moving, right, in one direction or another, just because it's like this not good enough. So it's not your fault that you feel this way. Now, here it comes, right? And this is where that rich man who rolled up on Jesus talking about, I want to be down. Jesus told him it is easier for a camel to pass
go through the eye
of a needle than a rich man to make it to heaven. And this is where I'm going to challenge everyone on this live today. Give it up. Did you hear what Sister Gladys said at the beginning? It no longer mattered whether people listened to her. It no longer mattered if she mattered. What mattered was her feeling. See, that rich man was not willing to give up all of his riches. Why? Because he was so attached to those things and to the identity that those things gave him. Right? So now, whenever you think about what's limiting me, you may want to consider, what am I attached to? Am I attached to how this thing is going to turn out? Am I
Yeah.
attached to the praise?
What somebody else is going to feel.
Yes, like these are the things that you must consider. Now, if you're ready, you'll join me and Sister Gladys on the other side and let go and let it
Because
be.
we crossed.
Right? Because here's the deal. Everything that you think that you're going to lose by letting go, you get that much and more when you let go. Hello, somebody.
Explosion, head exploding, head exploding. Can you say that again? Everything you think you're going to lose, you get that and much more.
And more. So
Listen.
now the next thing, because as you're talking, this stuff is just slapping me. It's fear. Fear. We are so afraid to walk. So. Okay. Yes, we are here. We are children of God. We avoid darkness. But here's the reality, right? Like, again, speaking from a biblical place.
Yeah.
Remember our brother Job. Job had to enter into the darkness in order to get
to the light.
everything on the other side. So some of us are so afraid to enter into what we feel like may be a time of isolation, rejection, lack of finances, whatever the case, whatever your fear is, you're afraid to face it. But and this is where we have to get real with ourselves. Why don't we trust God? So okay, there are two people that we're missing in trust here. We're missing a trust of God and we're missing a trust of ourselves. We don't trust that God really what he meant when he said in Matthew chapter 6, verse 36, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all other things shall be added unto you. We don't trust that. We don't really believe that, right? Then on the other side of that, we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust ourselves that we are hearing correctly. Is it God? Is it me?
Yeah.
Is
it me?
Who's asking me to do this?
Yeah. Did I watch a movie yesterday and that's the thought that's coming to my head? Now let's talk more about fear, okay? Because fear, we have all these memes, but the one I love the most is false evidence appearing real. One of the fears that I had about a concert, apart from who's going to want to listen to you, was it was like a door.
Yeah.
And all I needed to do was open it and step in. But I was afraid of what was on the other side.
Yeah.
Apart from all these other things, finances, who's gonna want to listen to you. I also had all those other little things that held me bound, that like I couldn't move.
Yeah.
But then when we had the, I think it was now 2018.
Okay.
My brother, I call him my tomato, Tunji Olatubosun.
That's my boy. I love him.
He said to me, matter of fact, he said, sis, you are doing this. You are going to be on the flyer for now 2018. Okay. And there is nothing you can do about it. So all I need you to do right now is I need you to prepare.
Yes.
See, God sees your heart.
Yes.
God knows what he's giving you to do.
Yes.
And sometimes if you don't move, he's going to bring someone who's going to kick you. I feel like Tunji stood right by me and I was in front of a door, afraid to go in, and he kicked me, like literally kicked me and pushed me out.
All right, you're giving me some juicy. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are. I'm ready to respond when you are ready.
So the fear,
yeah,
what you fear when you cross, when God says move, what you fear, when you walk through that door, you're gonna feel stupid. You're gonna feel stupid. Like, how did I? What was I afraid?
I would hope that you don't feel stupid, and I would hope that you would feel more like, oh wow, this was easy.
Yeah, but I felt stupid for why in the world did you have this? Why? What was it? What were you allowing? Why did you allow this to hold you down for so long?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
about it.
So when we are dealing with the spirit of fear, right? Because it's a spirit. It can move.
It's a spirit. It is a spirit that I know.
but the spirit of power, love, and sound mind.
Mind.
So we know that fear is a spirit. And when you are thinking about fear, it's important to remember where in time, space, reality you are residing. Are you residing in the past? Or are you so far in the future that you have completely missed the now?
Now.
That is what fear does to you. Fear never has anything to do with what's happening right now. Fear don't care about what's happening right now. Its job is to keep you occupied with the past.
Oh my God.
Failures and or with the fear and oh my God, will I be able to handle this? I want this thing so bad that I fear looking like a fool, or I fear the weight that's coming with this thing, right?
Oh my God.
So those are the things when we are dealing with limiting beliefs that we have to remember. Hello, pinch yourself. If you got to pinch yourself, pinch yourself. And remember that you right now, yesterday is gone.
It's gone.
The Bible tells
you can't do
that.
nothing about
it.
He
said, look, yesterday is done. And tomorrow has cares of its own to worry about. So your focus
should live in the now.
Living in the now. And that is, I kid you not, if there is a surefire way to avoid fear and or to dispel the spirit of fear, is to slap yourself and say, I'm now. What's happening now?
I am now. I am now.
Yes, I am now. That was yesterday. That's tomorrow. And who knows if I'll be here tomorrow. I'm now. So now what can I do? And that is how you deal with fear. You face it, you deal with it head on right now.
Yeah, someone said wake up.
Yes, wake up. Yes, wake up. Because that's the thing. And it's, again, I want to encourage us. It's not our fault. This world that we live in, we are all reflecting and projecting and dealing with. And then you'll see some people where you look at them, you're like, wow, how is this person just breezing through life? It is because they have chosen to wake up. They are truly awake. They have not been lulled to sleep by lack of thinking or by lack of engaging. All it takes for us, and we are believers, all it takes for us is to tap into the Holy Spirit. Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm here. I'm now. And you can do that any time of the day. You have full access. Like we said earlier, when you said, okay, if you can't see God in it, then there's a limit. Well, there are no limits because everywhere I look, I see God.
I see God.
Right? So now, if I know that everywhere I look, I see God, I have access.
Hallelujah.
Then
Hallelujah.
Green earth. How on God's green earth am I allowing the spirit of fear to reside here? It has no place. It has no place because I'm now. Fear only talks to you about what happened or what could potentially be. And here's the truth. You don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
You know what's happening right now. You get a download from God, from the Holy Spirit of what could be, but there's still action that you have to take now. Now. Your focus is going to be now, not yesterday or tomorrow.
Because and if your focus is now, then you have to trust the process of now. Because God is in your now. God moves with you. He walks with you. Listen, that's not who sang that song? God, Jesus walks with me. Jesus walks.
Kanye West. That's my brother.
Kanye West. See, even my husband knows who wrote that song. He just screamed out there. Kanye. Yeah, yes. It's not just a song. It is real. Jesus walks with you. Yes. He walks with you. He's there in your sleep. And that's the thing I always tell people. God is always speaking. He's always in. So he is in your now. As we're on this live, I believe that there are some people that God is talking to. Get away from that fear. Move out of that fear. Move out of that limiting thought. Move away. Give it quit. No, evict it. evicted from your
Yes.
mind, evicted from your life.
Yes.
Get away from
Yes.
it. Here and now, Dr. Cover 1 says, here and now. I move when
Yes.
Jesus says to move. I move when God says to move. I don't see limits because I see God in everything
Yes.
I do. So like Margaret said in
Yes.
the beginning, I cannot make a mistake because the
Not.
one that I walk with does not make mistakes.
Period.
Period.
So look.
Period. With the
Look,
T
look,
at the end.
with the T at the end. Look, Sister Gladys, let me tell you something now. I was talking with a friend the other day, and I said, you're a perfect being. The response was, I'm not perfect. And I said, well, what evidence do you have to prove that you're not perfect?
You're not perfect.
Oh, well, I've made this mistake. I've made that mistake. I've done this. I've done that. I said, you're a believer, right? She said, yeah. I said, didn't the God that you serve say that he has perfected all things concerning you, which makes you a perfect being?
Oh, Margaret.
Another way to evict fear, as Sister Delapo said,
Oh.
is to remind yourself, I am perfect. Not because I'm perfect, but because the Christ that lives in me is perfect. So you got to remind yourself of who you are. Every moment, every second of
Remind
the day.
yourself.
You got to
Remind yourself.
I am perfect. And just even if it takes multiple times for your mind to catch up with your mouth, remember to speak it with your mouth. And I'm gonna tell you something about your mouth, okay? Because let me tell you now, the way that your mouth is set up, if you read your word, you know. He said, "My word
You speak it
return to me void."
to me void.
The God that's living in you has given you the same power to declare and to decree. Many of us choose to use our mouths to decimate our lives. Many of us choose to bury ourselves with the words that come out of our mouths. If you don't,
So we're blowing ourselves up.
you're killing yourself. As
Woo!
soon as
Grenade.
there's life, you immediately kill it with the word of your mouth. Let me help you let me remind you of a simple truth of the words that come out of your mouth. Again, like the Bible said, it can't return void. So what does that mean? There are no refunds. You can't get no refunds on the words that come out of your mouth. So, if you are truly wise, because here, we're giving you knowledge. We're giving you understanding. But the Bible says, get wisdom with all of them.
Yeah.
Here's the wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
Here's the wisdom. Mind your mouth. When you mind your mouth, there's no way on God's green earth that fear has an opportunity to really attach to you. It may come. I'm not going to say that it doesn't come. But because you minded your mouth, because you remember who you are, you can immediately dispel it. Like that. Because the words of your mouth will not return to you void.
Whoa. I have to dissect that. I have to dissect that. The words that come out of your mouth, there are no refunds.
No refunds.
There are no refunds.
Honey, okay, so even though there are no refunds, imagine, okay, some of us, we like to shop, right? Some of us may like to go. If you know, in some of those fancy boutiques, you can't return the item and get your money back, but you can make an exchange.
Yeah.
You can make an exchange. Okay, so now this is the other side of that. While you may not be able to get a refund for the words that
you
come
can
out
exchange.
of your mouth,
you can exchange.
Whoa. And you better make sure you do it immediately.
Whoa.
Do it immediately.
Yeah, because otherwise, like in the physical, if you couldn't refund it, then it's in your house.
Yes. You're just carrying it.
So every time, if you put it in your closet or you put it somewhere, every time you walk around, you see it.
It's there. It's there.
Every time you walk around, you see it.
Yes.
Oh, talk about people who tell themselves, I'm a failure, I'm a failure, I'm a failure.
Ah,
Every time you say that,
that's
you're dropping a bag.
see.
You're dropping a bag. So you walk around with it and you see it.
So
Exchange.
now let's bring it full circle, right? Let's go back to the grocery store example. You are there speaking all these horrible things about yourself.
Oof.
You now are bearing the fruit of your
Oh
mouth.
God. Oh God.
So
The
now
power of the tongue.
You're trying to figure out, why am I constantly seeing all of
Yeah,
these
the laugh
things
we're recording.
that don't, you're like, this, I'm thinking one way, but because your
What's
mouth
coming
and
out?
your mind have not aligned,
They're not in sync.
you may be thinking good thoughts and
But
canceling
what's
it with
coming?
your mouth. So now you're going to the grocery store trying to figure out, now that's why you got to go to the grocery store, because you're trying to buy all this.
Oh my God. Grocery store effect.
Hey!
Woo.
Wahoo. That's all I can say is
Yeah.
wahoo.
What a wahoo. Yep.
Because when I got the revelation of this, and mind you, let me tell you something. My mother, I have to give all glory and honor to God for me being born to the woman that I was born to. From a very young age, my mom would really deal with my brother and I and say, if I hear you calling any one of my children stupid, and she was talking to us like we weren't her kids. She's like, if I hear you calling any one of my children stupid, or out of the name that I have given them and the name that calls them, you're in trouble. So from a very young age, my mom has taught me the power of the tongue. But of course, you're a child, you're not really correlating things, you know, you're not connecting the dots. In my adult life, I have come to understand that the words that flow out of this mouth are in direct alignment to the seed time and harvest time that this earth operates on. So words out of my mouth are the seed, and trust and believe in due time, the harvest, the signs, the fruit will come.
Oh my God.
So
It will
now
come.
it is me. It's on me. It's my job, my responsibility to mind the words of
What I say.
What kind of seeds am I planting?
Yeah.
And it's not just about what you're planting to yourself, because trust and believe, whatever you say about somebody else, it's coming back to you. So you want to be sure that you are on the same harvest schedule as this earth is concerned regarding other people. Because when you speak good thoughts to other people, trust me, those things come back to you triple, double, quadruple fold. Okay? And it's a must that we understand that principle. This earth, look at it. Look at how lavish it is. Look at how beautiful it is. The earth is set up for abundance. It's high time that we jump on the earth's schedule. That's it. Look at it. It's always producing. It's always producing. And everything that it produces is on time, and it's beautiful to the eye.
Yeah.
Now, what does your mouth produce? When you now allow fear and limiting beliefs to shroud your mind, it's no wonder that your fruit looks like that fig tree that Jesus cursed when he walked by. Because he said, you're supposed to be producing fruit. You're not producing fruit, die. He eradicated, and the disciples were like,
you just hit on what I was about to say about it's not just what you say, it's what you allow. Because sometimes what you allow and you assimilate is what you're going to bring out.
That's it. That's it. That's why
what
he
you
said,
allow.
guard your heart. You know,
guard it. With all diligence.
Yes, we're so literal, right? Because we're like, oh, the heart, the heart, the heart. Understanding that the heart can take on so many different things. It's your mind. It's your mouth. It is your eyes. Your ears. It is just your
it's everything.
Right?
Yes.
That is your heart that you are responsible for guarding. Not only are you responsible for guarding what comes to the door and knocks, you're also responsible for guarding what leaves, what exits.
Exactly. What knocks, what you allow to come in.
Yeah.
And once you allow it to come in and you know it's the wrong one, open the door and let it get out.
Yeah.
Evict it.
Yes.
Evict it.
Yes.
Get it out, kick it out. It doesn't belong.
There's there's a statement that I heard. I recently completed my iPad coaching certification. And this is why I'm so excited about sharing just the truth about how we think and releasing this, because we got to understand that we are all energetic beings. That's why power flows through every single person on this live is power. You are, if you don't know,
Hey, say that I am a powerful being.
You are a powerful being. Now, how you are allowing your power to be displayed, that's another story for another day, right? But I'm so excited because in this training, there was a statement that literally just slapped the crap out of me. What people say is about them. What I hear is about me. You'll be listening to people and you are hearing all kinds of crazy stuff that they didn't even
say. Please say it again. Say it again. Say it again. And can someone type that in? Someone type that in the comment section. What people say
is about them. What I hear is about me.
Woo.
I ask you, how many of you, what are you hearing about yourselves nowadays?
Whoa.
What are you choosing to hear about yourselves nowadays? Because see, now another aspect of limitations and limiting beliefs has to do with taking things personally. There are some things that are definitely yours and you should take them. And then there's some other things that someone is coming and they are knocking at your door. They're leaving a pile of poop
labels
at your door.
Labels.
Yes, labels at your door. And you open the door, you're slapping it on. You're like, okay, I guess I'll take this. I'll take this one too.
Slap it on. Slap it on, slap it off, slap it off. Shake it off. Don't allow it.
Listen to people clearly. Every single one of you on this line is a God being. Because you were created in his image. So I'm speaking to other gods on this phone or on this line. Yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. Remember who you are. Remember what the creator said about you. So when people are talking, remember that they're talking about themselves. They're not saying there's not anything that you should be allowing to tack onto you when people are projecting their feelings or saying that are not consistent with what you know to be the truth about yourself. And I'm not talking about being egotistical. That's not what we're talking about here.
Just don't accept.
You will know what is yours and what is not yours.
Exactly.
But you have to be listening very clearly.
Listen.
And again, what people say, those words don't return void. If you out in the grocery store, you picking up other people's words, see your life.
Yeah, see your life in the outside like this. See your life in the outside. I mean, don't allow this to happen to you. No, listen. So we have what?
You have to. I apologize for coming back in because this is how we accumulate a whole bunch of stuff that clouds up our judgment, that silences the voice of the Lord because we collected so many other voices. So that is why you find yourself asking, is it me? Can I trust me?
Is it God?
Is it God? Is it what such and such said? Even if such and such said it, take out of it what is going to propel you forward. Because again, remember, you got to get on the same time schedule as the earth. It's a seed, right? So is this a seed that if I plant it will help me to yield?
Is it gonna? Yeah. Is it good fruit?
Yeah. If it's not, then discard it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal though. Don't. My other favorite artist, and she is amazing, Erykah Badu, Bag Lady. Bag lady, you go. Hey, how many of us are bag ladies or bag men? We have collected so many bags of stuff that's not ours, and we're trying to make it. It's so hard to get to where we're supposed to be.
We have to.
So much.
Right. You know what? We have what? How many minutes, babe? How many minutes do we have? We have 8 minutes. Okay. I am going to stop this and we're going to come back. All okay, right. Guys, please come back immediately. That bag lady thing you just said, that right there. That right there. I've got something which my husband always is on me about. But as soon as you said that, it just clicked.
Okay.
And we will be right back. Okay,
All
guys,
right.
don't go nowhere. We're coming back. How do you end this thing? I don't want to
I
end
want
it. Should I
that
just let it
first.
go? Should I let it go until it ends?
Yeah, let's just let it go to
Um,
the end. So
till
look,
the end.
so
Okay.
about this bag lady business ahead. So the other side, oh God, there's so many sides to limitations
So
and
many.
limiting beliefs, right? So you may not be able to see your bags because you're in the process of collecting them.
You
But
just throw
the
things in.
the things that you want, the good that you expect is repulsed by all the bags that you're carrying. And it's like, how dare you come into my space? You ain't got no room to receive the good
Oh.
because you carried all the stuff. So the good that you're chasing is running from you because it's like, you're
There's
taking
no
too long.
space. Like I'm not gonna squeeze myself in between all these bad things. I don't want to dirty myself.
Right, right.
I don't want to dirty myself. You want to put me in between all this bad stuff? But no, you don't have space for me.
That's it. You know,
Clear out your bag.
it's interesting because I remember like when I first moved back to Atlanta, I had a girlfriend. She was asking me a question about, she was like, I just can't believe, yes, and I'm going to get real personal here. She's like, I just can't believe you're not married yet. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, and like, as she said it, the Holy Spirit gave me an instant download. And this was a process of me debagging and removing. And I'm still in the process of lifting myself up to the place where, well, I want to be careful with that. I would like to rephrase that. This is a part of me getting back to who I truly am in terms of what the word says about me, right? So as she said it, the Holy Spirit instantly downloaded this. He said, it's not that I don't want you to have what you desire, because I am the God that gives you the desires of your heart. He says, if I give it to you now,
Now, can you handle it?
it will kill you, or
Ooh.
you will kill it. How many of us,
Ooh.
you trying to figure
Goodness.
out why you ain't got what you got, that what you want?
No.
And it's like, but you got to also do that inner work. Your belief system can't even carry it. Your baggage hasn't made room for it.
Oh.
Your
Fallout.
your
Fallout.
your external eyes, your judgment eyes have prejudged it as not being right or appropriate for you. So again, it will kill you, or you will kill
My
it
God.
if it comes.
Oh.
I just have to drop that. Let that sit.
So the bag thing.
Yeah.
So my phone, and this was, I think, earlier on when we first got married. And my husband would be trying to reach me, but my phone
was at the bottom of your bag.
has fallen to the bottom of my bag. And in me trying to, I hear it ringing,
Yeah, but you can't
but I can't get to it because I always carry these big bags, and I had everything.
Woo.
And I remember one other day, Maya Wakubanjo, we were standing together, and I had to do something, and I said, can you hold my bag?
Yeah.
And he carried my bag, and he almost fell out. He said, what do you have in this bag? Why is this bag so heavy?
Yeah.
Is there a baby inside this bag? That's how we are. We have so much junk. And when I cleaned up my bag one day, and I said, Gladys, you have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. There was tissue paper, there was used tissue paper, there were notes there were 3 different notebooks. There was hand lotion. There was empty bottles of hand lotion. There was empty bottles of perfume, and it was just there. Every morning, I would carry the bag, and in my mind, I'm like, this bag is heavy. You need to declutter it. But I would say, oh, okay. I go about my day. I come back from work at night and boom, it's there. Sometimes I'm walking to the train station. I'm like, this bag is too heavy. You need to declutter it. But again, I don't do it.
Huh.
That's it. We have collected so many things that are not ours, so many things along the way, and some of it we have taken personal. She's